Hi, I'm Ellie McGuire, and this is the Shaking the Bushes podcast. Today's guest is going to be sitting right over there in that chair at this kitchen table in my childhood home. And let me just say this. He is in the Guinness Book of World Records. I'm not going to tell you why he's in there. You'll just have to tune in. But suffice it to say, you'll be dancing. Welcome, Cory Pesaturo, or as they say in Rhode Island, Pesaturo.
Yes, I think many Rhode Islanders of the Italian descent would say that.
I tell you what is it? 70% of Rhode Islanders are Italian?
I don't know if it's that high, but we think it is as Italian. Yeah, we run the state, you know.
I love it. I love it. Well, I am so thrilled that you are here at my kitchen table in my childhood home. I sat here at 4 years old, as I tell everybody else, eating Cheerios with my father sitting over there having a Marlboro in his boxer shorts.
In his boxer shorts. Are we going to shake some bushes? Is this
exactly.
what we're doing today?
We're shaking the bushes on you
Oh,
today, Cory.
boy.
You are the celeb. Let me tell you, I feel like I know you, but we've never really met before.
No,
It's
really,
I've been
yes.
on the phone.
Right.
But I feel like I know you because I looked at Wikipedia, and you really need some time because boy, oh boy, does he have a list of things that he's done. You are amazing. You're from Rhode Island. I'm going to read them, but the one I want to start with
Oh, okay.
is that, and I need cue cards because you've got such a list of amazing things. You broke the Guinness World Record for the longest continuous playing of the, drum roll please, the accordion. So my first question is, how long did you play to win that title, that distinction?
It was 32 hours and 19 minutes, which the record was about 31:40. I didn't want to break the record by a ton because I didn't want to injure myself. Most people that do they called marathon records. So every instrument has this. I'm sure, like
Really?
Washing dishes over here in the kitchen would have
It's
a record.
crazy.
Everything has a record. So, but the most people that do these marathon records, they don't do it for their career. This is my career, so I don't want to injure myself. So I said, well, let's beat it by a half hour, 40 minutes.
So how long was it?
32 hours and 19 minutes, I think.
Of playing the accordion. Now, did you kind of go way down upon the Swanee River, like slow songs at times?
Well, okay, that's an interesting point. So what I decided
Bringing
as
up that song is an
that's an
interesting
interesting point too. And we did this in Graz, Austria, because I had Red Bull sponsored. I had my Red Bull
All right,
Formula One
first of all,
contacts.
I read that too, and I have to tell you, my first life, I was in advertising. Red Bull is the perfect sponsor for a guy like you playing for 32 blah, blah, blah hours on the accordion.
And we had a Red Bull there, of course.
I'm sure you took it.
But my strategy was to play songs that were not physically difficult, but were mentally difficult. Because physically difficult is going to wear me out. But
That's
something
right.
simple, you could legally play Mary Had a Little Lamb for 32 hours. But, well, not quite. There's other rules. Not to get into
there
that.
are rules
There's
like
a
that?
lot of rules. But the problem is the people that wrote the rules are not musicians. And I was trying to talk with Guinness like they don't know what they're talking about here. But that's a separate thing. So I said, so what is not physically difficult but mentally difficult? Jazz ballads. So I did a lot of that stuff because now I got to think chords and cool stuff to do.
And you
But
love
I'm-
jazz.
I love jazz. But I didn't want to play harder and faster jazz stuff because that would wear me out. So
Yes.
so it was a mix of different. And then on the live stream, people were saying, play this tune. But you had to have all the tunes written out that I was going to play. And you couldn't repeat for less than 4 hours. And there was 3 people writing down all the songs.
So you had a list of songs you had to play?
Well, I made it because, again, the 3 people had to write down every song in order, or there would be a problem with the logistics of doing a Guinness record are worse than actually doing the Guinness record. I can tell you that. It's like the government.
Maybe-
The logistics are worse than the actual product.
Maybe there's a Guinness Book of World Records for the rules for the Guinness Book.
There should be. You need to have 2 cameras. You need to have 2 clocks that run the whole time so they know you're not cheating. I mean, it goes on and on and on forever.
Wow. But back to the accordion.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother story.
Yes.
But back to that.
Yeah.
You did the songs.
Yep.
You had to have a list. But that list had to encompass the timing that would go over the previous time, correct?
They had to write down when I started it, when I stopped it, and there's only a certain amount of time between tunes. A tune needs to be a certain length. There's a lot of, and you get 5 minutes every 60 minutes to go to the bathroom.
I was wondering about that.
So
too.
it's really not when someone says I have the marathon record of whatever instrument. It's not that they've played it nonstop. It's like the longest concert is more the record is how it should be stated.
And my other question is, did you break the Guinness Book of World Records for Red Bull when you were doing this? How many Red Bulls did it
because
take?
I think I only had one or two because I was worried about the crash.
Yes,
but we had a cup that we would put orange juice or water in that I would drink that was a Red Bull cup. And I wore Red Bull attire from the Formula One shop down the street. That's how it happened.
But you are into red, so I think red, I've seen
red
all
is
your
kind
videos.
of,
That's kind of your color.
Well, it's from the accordion that it became the color, the CPES color. Yeah.
So do you want to know, now that we've talked about that is just like the craziest thing I've heard, the Guinness Book of World Records for accordion. But one of the reasons I'm so excited, besides just your effervescent is that I am a huge Al Yankovic fan. And I used to listen to Dr. Demento on Saturday nights, and I would be in high school and college. So that was only, 20 years ago?
Yeah, 20 years ago.
And I would stop whatever we were doing. If we were getting ready to go into the movie theater, couldn't go in if Dr. Demento was still on and Weird Al was on. So he was my hero. So I think he might have been one of the people that changed accordion to make it a little more hip, or do you not agree with that?
Well,
is that too big a question?
Well, it's a long diatribe into the history of the accordion. But I mean, the accordion became very popular kind of in the teens with Guido Darro, and then again became really big in the early 50s with Dick Contino. Then when rock came in the early 60s, it died. Pretty much, I've pinpointed it to the night the Beatles went on the Ed Sullivan Show.
I was just going to ask you, I wonder if the Beatles, because they did a whole bunch of funky things. Do you think the Beatles ever picked up an accordion?
Oh, no. They never picked up an accordion. But the night they went on the Ed Sullivan Show was the mark of... Because remember,
the accordion died.
Well, because the economy of this runs by what do girls like. Girls are on if girls like it, guys will do it, and that was it. So when the Beatles landed, you were not caught dead with an accordion anymore. You had to get a guitar on, and that was it. And within a couple of years, accordion went from as popular as guitar to you were not caught dead with an accordion. Wow. It was immediate within just a couple of years.
One of the things that swayed me a little against accordions was Lawrence Welk.
Exactly. And then so there was that part of the culture, and then it amplified by the fact that older people loved accordion and the young people like, screw this, I'm playing guitar. Yeah. So it all multiplied together. But then, now the accordion's dead late 60s, 70s, 80s. Then Weird Al comes along. But the thing is, Weird Al is still a comedian who plays accordion. He's not really an accordionist. But I will say to the accordionists that happen to maybe be watching, Weird Al, now that I've gotten to know him, he is a better accordion player than accordion players give him credit for. He's actually a pretty good accordion player.
Really?
Yes.
Name another celebrity. I have one quick story is the guy who's doing the camera work, Piano Man Ron, who's a fabulous 3-time world champion ragtime piano player. And I have a 3-time world champion accordion player. This room is about to explode.
I know. Watch out.
But I remember we're living in LA and he got a call from his agent who Drew Carey wanted him to teach him accordion. And Ron did own an accordion, and he might have put it on his resume, at the bottom, like, what do you like to do? Oh, I like to go to the moon. I like to, shoot camels in the eye. I don't know. And play the accordion. He probably put that down.
I feel like I was involved in this search to teach him how to play accordion, because he has a Potos accordion from Potos Accordions in Seattle, which is the only American
Do not swear
left.
At me.
What?
What? Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, I was saying the Pitosa is like the only American accordion company left, and he has a relationship with them.
Like the Steinway of accordion?
Yeah, and certainly in America. But and Dick Contino, I mentioned earlier, that was big in the 50s and made accordion so big. He worked with
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey, yeah. Price is Right now, yeah. Drew Carey as well. But there's a lot. I mean, look at Billy Joel. He started on accordion.
He did.
And he played accordion on Downeaster Alexa and things like that. Oh, yeah, he's a big accordion player, too. Oh, my God.
Ron can play the root beer rag. I know that for a fact with that. And, so it's kind of weird because I'm so attracted to you. Don't get afraid. But Ron, who's been my forever fiance for 40 years, he is a contrarian. I'm going to say that. He likes to do things that other people don't like.
Like the accordion.
Like the accordion. But he was a ragtime guy when
Yeah.
ragtime wasn't that hip. I
Right.
think ragtime's really come back and
Yeah.
people are finding it. But he was Art Tatum. He was like, all those different.
That's my hero, Art Tatum. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's
but
my
he
guy.
likes the obscure, and I think you like the obscure.
Yeah,
Or
you
you
have
want
to.
that challenge.
Well, I also play genres of music on accordion that you don't hear on accordion. So, I love playing electronic club music on it.
I listened, and that electronic music sounds like you've got a choir in back of you. I mean,
or that, the choir
oh my
stuff.
God!
yeah.
It's if you have a chance, go to Cory Pesaturo's website because the songs you play are just spectacular.
Just
And
go off on a tangent on YouTube.
and the next birthday party, I had a birthday party just recently, and it's disco. I'm a disco queen, but you would be a disco. You could play disco. You could play
easily,
anything. But
easily.
when you go to his website, or when you go on Facebook, or when you go on you did 4 TED Talks as well too.
I've
I
done
listened
a
to
lot
all
of
of
TED
them.
Talks.
I mean, I never prepared so much for a guest. You have it all.
I want a trophy now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised you didn't bring them. That would have been great. But you just do all this obscure things. So my claim to fame is I had a fling once with a banjo player who could play Malaguena.
Mhm.
That was pretty
I've
spectacular.
played that since I was probably 12 or
Right?
13. Yeah.
You know what? My favorite song on one of your TED Talks, you were doing a compilation of different things. I loved what is a tango? Dun 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 dun. Is that called the tango song? What song is that called? Dun, dun,
I'd need
dun,
to hear
dun, dun dun.
Well, I know that one. I don't think I played that, but
No,
isn't that Hernando's Hideaway or
Oh
something?
yeah, Hernando's Hideaway. But I think you did
Name that tune.
But I was running and I was listening to the TED Talks,
I see.
and I thought I heard that. But
Maybe.
you just and
I know a lot of tunes. So
and you're the encyclopedia of music. Like the names, I recognize Art Tatum. I recognize a few, Wynton Marsalis, different people, jazz guys. But you go to the ends of the.
I just came back from Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you've been there a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah, I have been there a couple
And
times.
tell me what did you feel about Saudi Arabia
I mean, musically,
musically?
it's obviously they use it's like every genre of music. Like in America, when you want to find jazz musicians, people go to New York.
Right.
If you're in Ukraine and you want to find top musicians, they're all in Odessa. Every culture and every genre of music has like its spot. In the Arab world, everyone listens to Egypt. So all the great composers, the great singers, the great music comes out of Egypt. So every time I've gone to Saudi Arabia, it's actually to do concerts of Egyptian music because that's what they all listen
And
to.
I listened to a song you played from a tape from Saudi Arabia, and it was very Egyptian. And
Yeah.
I thought, most musicians, if Billy Joel went to Egypt, he'd be playing Piano Man, like.
Oh, but they know all our stuff.
Oh, really?
They know all our stuff out there.
But
Oh,
you are so brilliant that not only do you go to a different country, you learn the music of that country.
Well, I'm very good at replication. I'm horrible at composing. I can't compose, but I can replicate. So if you say, here's this tune, play an entire concert in that style.
Play
I can,
by ear?
Yeah, mostly. But of course, you get the music and you listen to it. But the Saudi gigs are great because it's total Cory approved. They say, here's the recordings, just kind of learn it by ear. Then we'll have some music with some chord changes on it. And also, if you feel like putting in a fill or improvising, you can. Like, that is my kind of gig.
Cory approved. I
can do
that.
I play with the Boston Symphony here and there too. But I much prefer listen to this stuff, play in this style. That's more my thing.
I think if you look the word up, virtuoso, your name is underneath it and your picture.
Trying.
You really, but you have encompassed. It's not that you just said, let me play the accordion, because I have to tell you, I missed many a wiffle ball game in my neighborhood right here in this childhood home because my mother made me play the piano. And it was all classical music. And at the end of my lesson, I would bring in like this songbook from Mary Poppins in Sound of Music. And that was my little extra bonus, but it was music, it was classical. And I wonder if that stopped me from being more kind of loosey-goosey on the piano, that I could just, like Ron, you could give him some chords or a song and he could pretty much pick it up.
Right.
But I do have an ear. I could pick out with my right hand, I can give you any melody once I hear a song and I can pick it up.
Okay.
So I do have a good ear, but I ain't Cory Pesaturo, let me tell you.
Well, there's many people beyond my skill set too. Don't
Okay,
worry. Mountain keeps going.
So another thing, I mean, I do have flashcards because you
Yeah, I love it with the stickers.
with the stickers, of course.
stickers.
Yes. So you're from Rhode Island, youngest person to win the National Accordion Championship, won the World Digital Accordion Championship in New Zealand. And that's my next question. I mean, people, very smart, learned people from like the Juilliard would be sitting here asking you about particular musicians and classical pieces and everything. Not me. I want to know how you got the accordion on the plane to go to New Zealand.
Well, that's easier actually than going to Europe. They're more strict with that stuff. But
Do you put it in the overhead?
Yes, see, Ron should know this because being the airport master here. Yes, I before about 2013. When you booked flights, you had to just kind of guess, let me do long legs because it'll be a bigger plane. And then you'd get to the window at the gate and be like, crap, it's an Embraer 190, and you'd be in trouble. But after about 2013 stuff, when you go to book a flight, you know exactly what plane is there. And I can only fly on a 737 or bigger for Boeing or an Airbus 321 or bigger, and I know I can get on. And this
so
is
you
why
have to look at the brand.
I have to know everything like that. But this is why I mostly have always flown Southwest, because Southwest only has 737s. So they know even if the bag looks big, he's probably flown before it works. I know it's going to fit. So Southwest is awesome. Wow. And I've played on many Southwest airlines because when I go to put it up in the overhead, usually some steward is like, "Oh, what's that?" And I go, "It's an accordion."
Oh, so you don't even have a case? You're just
no. It's in a soft case. But the soft case,
case,
it looks like it's too big, but the angle of it fits perfectly in the overheads. But then some stewards say, "Oh, what's that?" I say accordion, and then usually the next response is, "Are you gonna play for us?" And then I can't.
My similar experience is that bringing two dogs on a plane. We used to go to LA a lot because we used to live in LA, and two little dogs are supposed to go under the seat. Well, let me tell you, when you have Schmitty the weather dog and her understudy, they sit on your lap, and then all of a sudden the pilot announces that Schmitty the weather dog's on the plane, so make sure you say hello before you leave. It's hysterical. So you have played accordion on the plane?
I just did a couple of weeks ago on the way to
and do
San
people
Jose.
go nuts?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, everybody's phone comes up, but there's always going to be 20% of the people that are sitting there like, oh, God in heaven, now I have to deal with a freaking accordion player.
And you know what you should play when that happens? When you see something like that?
Yeah.
Play the polka. That'll drive them crazy.
Yeah, just fill the stereotype to completion. Yeah. Oh, boy. And sometimes they say that, like, are you going to play a polka for us? And I'm like, I play, Coltrane. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I can play hours of polkas. I don't really do that.
Now, did you come from a family of accordion players?
No. But there was one, my dad. He plays accordion. But he played when it was cool. Then he stopped when it was
Lawrence Welker.
Well, even before that, but then he saw Dick and Tino on the Ed Sullivan Show and said, "I want to do that." And also, it's an Italian thing to do. But then he quit when it was no longer cool to play.
Right.
Then he took it out again when I was 9. And then at 9.5 said, "Do you want to play?" Which in Italian means you better effing play or you're going to be beat up. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'll play accordion.
Thank you for the translation.
Yeah, that's the translation.
So that was kind of the way you got into it.
Yeah. So I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it until after I won the national title. I still didn't want to do it, but I'm very competitive and I was never good at sports. I love watching sports all over the world, but I was never good at them. And then I realized, I can win at this sport. So I've always treated music as a sport because it really is. Not enough people want to admit that, but it is a sport in a lot of ways.
I mean, I think Ron had 2 other brothers and they all vied to play the piano. In fact, they had a paper keyboard because the father didn't want to invest unless they were really serious and they're playing. But Ron did say it was to get chicks. That's why you play.
Don't play accordion if that's the goal.
So then... let me take it a little further there. Those of you listening and watching, you went to the Boston Conservatory,
New England
Conservatory, and they let you in playing accordion.
Yes, where Berkeley laughed. I went to the Berkeley audition with an accordion, and they're like, "We don't have."
They
that
laughed.
Yep, they laughed straight out of a Hollywood film.
Bullying.
Yep, I remember the bill. I can tell you the building it was in.
And they laughed. Did you walk away? I would have been.
No. But then I had the clarinet, and I got into Berkeley on clarinet, which tells you how Berkeley will allow anyone into Berkeley as long as you got a check for them. But where Juilliard, NEC, Curtis, these places, no, you have to be top shelf. But NEC at least was like, we don't know what to do with you, but we want you to come here. So I was like, well, I guess I'll do that. And
what other instruments do you play? Clarinet, accordion.
Saxophone, because in middle school you couldn't play accordion, so I had to choose something small. So I said, let me get the smallest instrument, since the accordion, I was sick of carrying that around by middle school. So the smallest instrument was the flute. Well, that was a girl instrument, so I was like, let's go up one. Clarinet, okay. And then with clarinet, you learn alto sax, learn tenor sax, bass clarinet. So I did that. But
were you in a band at all? At
no,
school?
just I was in the band and through high school. And I'm okay at those, but it's hard because with the accordion, no matter what crazy line I think of, I can play it. Where on those instruments, I see the disconnect that other people have. I hear a line, I go to play it. I can't do it because I don't have the proficiency of that. But so NEC was like, yeah, we don't know what to do. We can't put you in classical or jazz, but there's the CI department, the contemporary in contemporary improvisation, which is just, the weirdos.
Right.
It's like, that's fine. At least a great music college of the world will accept me. So I went there.
And let me tell you, nerds and weirdos rule the world now. So you are in great shape. So, but the New England Conservatory did accept you on the accordion.
On the accordion.
And how many other people had done that?
They think it was none. They don't have any record of it, which, so I can say officially there's never been one. But the only thing is, my research of the accordion world was that Frank Gaviani, who was actually my teacher's teacher. My teacher was Tullio Gasparini. We both taught in Pawtucket and Lincoln. I was his last student. And Tullio's teacher was Gaviani. Gaviani taught at New England Conservatory in the 40s. Now, he might have just taught lessons there. I don't know if they gave a degree on it. So, but NEC doesn't have great records on that, because their records are all about the classical stuff they've done with violin and piano, and they're the best in the world with that stuff. But the Gunther Schuller in the 70s created the jazz department and the contemporary improvisation department. And, a lot of people in the world, me included, owe so much to Gunther, because he was the first one to go to any major conservatory in the world and say, why don't we do more than just classical music?
Right.
And then all these other, colleges have then followed suit in that way.
Wow.
But their jazz department is as good as any in the world, and NEC is not seen as a jazz school. You say, oh, you go to Berkeley for that.
Right.
NEC's got as good as anybody.
Wow. What a history. I mean, but it's all up here. In school, were you a good student or a bad student? Because you are a sponge. I mean, you know so much.
No, I never got in trouble. I was always a teacher's pet, because I was the one, I went to the White House when I was 11. So I was a teacher's pet, and I never misbehaved, but I was always kind of a B-ish student, unless it was something I was interested in. Like, if you looked at my high school, I was in like the lowest classes for English or history, but then in physics, I was in AP because I loved that stuff. So it's like, it was only what I was interested in.
See, you just entered my world. I went to Catholic school, therefore I am not good at math, and I'm a girl.
I love math.
Oh yeah, but
don't make me read a book. But I love math.
Ron went to Purdue and majored in math. I think all the great musicians, there is such
there's big connection.
Big connection.
Yes.
My way, and I heard you telling in a TED talk about this. See, I do listen. I heard you talking about there are people who are very good with the whole theory of music, but they don't have, I'm going to use my words, the personality, behind it, or the entertainment value of it. And then there are people who are really good at an instrument technique, but they can't read a thing of music, or there's all these mixtures.
There's so many skill sets in the world of music. That's why I love when people say he's a great musician. I'm like, okay, well, there's 150 categories. So what is he good at when you say he's a good musician?
I think my friend told me that Paul McCartney can't read a lick of music or something like that.
Many. Mario Lanza couldn't read any music, and he's like the greatest tenor of all time. I mean, there's different aspects of things.
But so math, so that's where I struggled on the math. But you give me something that's melodic, I am right there. So I'm the melodic side, you're the mathematical side. The M&Ms, we're the M&Ms. I think we could go on the road. There you go. I am just having so much fun. I mean, this is just so exciting.
Cue cards galore.
Okay, yeah, cue cards. Say that fast 3 times. Red Bull, that was a big factor, and I could see how Red Bull would love your ass.
Well, and I've known Max Verstappen since 2015, and now he's the best driver in the world. So big racing guy. I can talk racing till tomorrow.
Oh no, that's another NASCAR. Now that's where we're going to part ways, because I never got I mean, I had a crush on David Letterman, but I never got his love for NASCAR. But he was an Indiana
Well, he's more
guy.
he's more IndyCar than NASCAR though.
Oh, okay.
Which I am too. NASCAR killed itself when they started the playoff system, but not to go into all that.
But I see you talking to me. All I know is it's.
We gotta have you watch MotoGP and Formula One.
I'm gonna have to watch it with you so you can give me
yes,
the play-by-play.
Then you'll understand the excitement.
I just don't get it. But now Ron again went to produce, so he's an Indiana guy. But I don't think he's into NASCAR. We'll have to ask him. I'll have to interview him. I'll have to interview the two of you together, which would be scary.
Fun. That would be scary.
Okay, so you performed at the White House 4 times. That's pretty cool. And you were young. Were you young?
Yeah,
kid at one
11,
time?
12. Yeah.
How did they ever get your name? Hello.
Well, actually, they do what they still do today, which is they allow amateurs to play at Christmas time.
Wow.
And they bring them in different parts of the White House and such.
I love that.
Except, my dad being my Italian dad just kept almost screaming at the person bringing us around. He's got to play over there where the president. He just kept annoying them until they finally allowed me to do it.
So you had one of those dads.
Yes. And it worked.
Who's one of those? What's that? There was a show, Gypsy. She, the theatrical mom who keeps pushing, but sometimes it works.
Oh yeah, no, I see it. I see it all the time, and it works.
And is your dad still alive?
Yeah.
And do you get along?
Oh yeah.
Cool. So you don't have Dad, what are you doing?
Well, I mean that was always the case. Yeah, back then, of course, you gotta hear him play. Yeah. You gotta have my kid play. It's like, oh my God, get the accordion, take it out.
Okay, that could be so Rhode Island too.
It is.
Oh
yes,
my God.
Yes.
Isn't there a guy named Conti that's from Rhode Island who plays for every Oscar?
I actually got Bill Conti. I actually got the governor, McKee, to get a proclamation for him, and I gave it to him. We did a video in L.A. where I gave him a proclamation of all his achievements from Rhode Island.
All the Oscars, right? He directed a
I know,
lot of
and
the
you know
Oscars.
what? Hopefully the Rhode Island Music Hall of Fame listens to this, because Bill Conti said, if they want me in the Hall of Fame, I'll only go in if they put you in too. Bill Conti told me that. I was like, wow.
But you should be. You should be, because
I haven't achieved quite yet to be in the Hall of Fame.
I am just.
I'm working on it.
Rhode Island is so misunderstood, because even though it's a smaller state, it has such powerful people. I love the
George M. Cohen, I thought too.
Yeah, and Ron Trotta,
Ron Trotta,
who plays at the airport. Now everybody knows him.
Makes everybody's life great when they get out there.
Oh my God! So it's just, I just am having so much fun. Okay, so let's see. I hope everybody is. How could they not? I still think you're a contrarian like Ron, because you want to do what people. You want to make that change, as Michael Jackson would say. But the accordion, you took an instrument that people were like, "What?" at a time where they're like, "Ooh," and you have made it sexy. You've made it hot, and now it talks to you. It's kind of like what is it? Peter Frampton, didn't he have that wah 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 kind of guitar that talked?
Any sound, you could put, especially with electronics. I could put this podcast as like a note, C, and it plays whatever you want.
Didn't you love how I just pulled Peter Frampton out of my butt there?
I know.
Anyway, Peter Frampton, but he always talked with his guitar, and now listening to your accordion, it basically talks sometimes. You've got a digital, and you have I think I learned, I'm just so impressed. You have a USB stick in your accordion.
Yeah.
So you can make any sounds that people want.
Well, that doesn't add sounds. I wish. That's a whole other thing. I wish you could do it. But I can record albums.
Yeah.
Sitting in this chair, and you don't need any. As long as I nail the take, I can send it off, and it's total mastered quality and everything. So, and I do that for TV. Even like Formula One broadcasts. And we need, we're going to show the French area at the end before a commercial break, and you give us 20 seconds of a French tune because they don't want to pay copyright. So I just make up some French musette thing and send it off.
Only you could get a gig with something you love like NASCAR.
But Formula One, not NASCAR.
I know. I think Formula One needs an accordion. By the way, I'm going to backtrack for a minute, because when I said I pulled Peter Frampton out of my ass, I got a look from Ron. That was a little weird of a statement, but who cares, right?
It's your podcast. It's not my podcast.
Sorry,
I'm just sitting here.
Sorry, people. Yes, I did go to Catholic school. I'm sorry. Okay.
Was
so
the
now,
ruler.
Exactly, the ruler and the nuns. Okay, and now this is another thing. I feel like I'm like a Mormon gal who's got 2 husbands here. Big weather guy. Ron is a meteorologist as well, but you are a huge weather guy. You compiled a list of something for weather.
Well, yeah, my first big moment I had in the weather world was I compiled the most comprehensive list of the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season, because no one was really, they'd put some stats up, Weather Channel put stuff, I'd see stuff on AccuWeather, I'd see stuff with Jim Cantori.
Right.
But there was no, and I said, this has got to be pages and pages long. And I had a 20-page list of all the records in detail and also the record that it broke. And I sent it to MIT. I sent it to the National Hurricane Center. And that was my first motion of, who's this accordion guy doing weather records? Because I just love statistics and I love weather.
Wow.
Snow and hurricanes are my two things.
Wow.
I do want to chase tornadoes at some point.
So I should call you on a snow day and you'd be very happy.
Oh, I live for snow. And also, I love how it pisses everyone else off. It makes it even better for me. I love it.
Contrarian.
And I love driving in it because you get to drift in the snow. It just compiles everything.
I had a little sports car, and I was living in D.C., and I was working for the Capitals hockey and the Bullets basketball.
Oh, really?
And I had to go to...
They finally won.
Yeah,
Capitals.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to go to the TV station, WHDH, that was carrying the games for a morning meeting. And it was one of the hugest blizzards. And yet I was so afraid not to get to that meeting.
Was it rear-wheel drive?
Oh my God! It's a little Mercedes sports car. I had a little, and I'm sliding the whole way there, and we're talking around the Beltway. And it got there, and it was so bad I had to leave my little sports car that I loved, and I had to take a subway home. And that car just sat there and just got snowed. I'm surprised it didn't get trashed by a. But that's another story. But snow is the funniest thing, and you love it.
I live. It's more than I love it.
So you'd
never
live
for it.
You could go to LA, but you wouldn't be able to live
I can't
in
live
LA.
there. No, I can't live there.
I couldn't live there. We lived for 4 years in LA, and here's what happened. There was never a day where I could just pull the sheets over my head and read a book for the day because it was sunny every day.
I know.
And
every day.
sunny, you need a little.
You need excitement.
No, you need clouds to make the sunshine better. You can take that for what it's worth.
I just need variety.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's going to be 80 and sunny for the next 300 days. Oh God, that's hell to me. That's hell. Where's the thunderstorms? Where's a hurricane? Where's something interesting happening? Oh
okay, you did 4 TED Talks. You did also. I saw a Google Talk. I didn't even know Google had a talk.
I've done a couple of those. Yeah.
And so that was great. And you were in Weird Al's biop.
Yes, speaking of Weird Al again, anything that's accordion in that movie that's not him playing, it's me playing. I'm like his accordion body double. Yeah.
Get out. That's crazy. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something that you're going to flip at. You played for the president of Malta at a restaurant in New York City.
Lady Gaga's parents.
I live right around the corner from there.
Really?
I know Cynthia
like
and Joe.
Yeah.
And you played there. That must have been funny, huh?
Oh, it was totally funny.
But it's not a big place, so where did
everybody
sit?
It was this couple who were not important. They were just, I got to know them, but they weren't. And then Judge Janine, the president of Malta, his wife, his daughter, and the person that made it all happen. And it's funny, the president of Malta is so unknown that there was no security. So the people are sitting in the restaurant eating like any normal people. There's a little petition and then us.
Because they're all looking for Lady Gaga, let's face it.
Well, their dad's out with us the whole time. Joe,
exactly,
Joe's hanging with us, but they didn't know who Joe was.
Now, did you ever get invited to Malta to play accordion?
He did, but I had to contact him through that and I don't know, never happened, which is really sad because he wanted me desperately to come to the palace.
I know,
but I wasn't in charge of the connection.
So I'm getting a signal from Piano Man Ron, who's now the cameraman Ron, and he's saying we're going to take a break only because I want you to get your accordion.
Okay,
but I have one last question. One last question before we get your accordion. You seem to have accomplished your dream. You love the accordion, and you have made the accordion such an amazing instrument in your life, but in the life of others. If you were talking to someone, or your 14-year-old self, everybody does that, but if you're talking to the audience, what advice would you give them to accomplish their dreams?
We're going deep now.
Had to give you a deep one.
Well, I mean, they have to be clear. I certainly am nowhere near the accomplishment of all the dreams. I would like the accordion to be popular. We're nowhere near that. Although in other countries it is, but that's a separate topic too. But I mean, you have to have clear goals. But I still think the competitive aspect is very important. It really is to accomplish it. You're not going to do it by just dilly-dallying. You have to really have that set goal and work towards it every day and sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice. When my friends are partying in high school, I was practicing. There's a lot of sacrifice you have to make. But now I travel the world and get paid for it, and they might be working a job they hate. So, it takes a while to see the results. But,
I wish I missed many a wiffle ball game. I could see my friends outside playing as I was doing my scales on the piano. But I wish my mother had told me this can go to something that will change your life. Like I just saw it as a laborious, like something that was just painful, and my mother.
Well,
was
I remember
making me
I didn't
do
like
this.
it either. I hated practicing. I had to
Yeah.
be screamed at to practice.
So what was it? What was the arc? Where did you arc?
When I found jazz is when I started to love the accordion. That's when I loved it, but I always wanted to have the goal of bringing it back. But that was, again, more just that fun goal. When I found jazz, it's like, oh my God, the accordion is the greatest instrument ever. It's
Wow.
it's undoubtable.
And my last note is that between you and Ron, who are both world champions at an instrument, I think competition is key, because he nobody ever won 3-time world champion ragtime piano player, because he strove for that and he played every day. And I got to know him at the tail end of that. What a pain, he lived it, ate it and everything. And I think you're the same way. I think persistence, determination, but that drive, that competition, nobody else is going to do that.
Right. But then, of course, in the real music world, it doesn't matter if you've won the champion. It's a motivating factor to get to that level. But then, of course, in the jazz world, no one cares where you went to college or what you got. Either you can, as Wynton Marsalis says, either you can play or you can't play. That's it. It doesn't matter about the rest of it. So you get humbled very quick in the real world of a New York City, jazz club or something.
Oh my!
It doesn't matter what you've accomplished. Can you play or you can't play? So
wow. Well, I'm humbled just being here with you, but I have to say you have exceeded all my expectations, and now I would love to have you we're going to take a break and have you get your accordion so we can hear some of your accordion.
I hear the Lawrence Welk dum.
Oh no, don't if you do that, I'm going to.
You know what
I thought? Music. You know what prison would be to me? Prison would be sitting in a room and having to watch Lawrence Welk for like day after day after day after day.
Thank you.
Oh my!
Bobby and Sissy.
I think it's because it was my mother. They had it on for my parents and my grandparents. And
he was an atrocious accordion player, which is sad because Myron is great. He was a really great accordion player, but he gets tied in with the bad stereotype of the accordion. But it wasn't Myron's fault. Or Joanne Castle was amazing.
Oh, Joanne Castle.
Amazing.
My God.
Lawrence was horrible.
Yeah. Well, Lawrence Welk, people actually contacted Ron for something when we were living out in LA. And I went, please no. I will live in a trailer. Please
oh my God,
please
that's
no.
funny.
So that's funny.
All right, we'll get the accordion.
Okay, let's get your accordion. Welcome back to Shaking the Bushes. I'm here with Cory Pesaturo playing the accordion, but not just any accordion, a world champion accordion. Oh my gosh. Cory, you are just amazing. Wow. Hey, I was thinking every woman who thinks they have a weight problem, because most women are beautiful, could just learn to play the accordion, because you sit there and nobody ever sees your body. You can't see if you're bloated or not. It's an amazing
it's a
thing.
Workout. It's a great workout. Really
I
great
bet
workout.
it is. How heavy does an accordion?
Well, this one, the newest one, the Korg here, is only 22 pounds. Most accordions are 25 pounds, so it's not bad. I do 2-hour concerts with even the 25 pounds standing up.
Wow. So you don't have to go to a gym.
I'm really good at the accordion machine, as I call it. The accordion
wow.
machine. Yeah.
So what's a squeeze box? Like, was that in the old days where they just had
it's just a term people use. They got the squeeze box. I mean, usually it is in reference to the diatonic accordion, which is the smaller. There's 60 different kinds of accordions, which a lot of people
How many?
Really, at least 60. Probably I could come up with more.
60.
There's a lot of different kinds of accordions.
And in Europe and different places, I think I've learned.
Every country, it's a country-to-country, border-to-border instrument.
Wow.
Truly.
So there's no Steinway of an accordion throughout the world?
Well, many people would say the Horner-Gola in the 60s is the Steinway of acoustic accordions. Yeah. I mean, there's different ones. But the type of accordion, like this is a piano accordion, officially named, because there's a piano here, which was made for the American market in the early 1900s. That's what, and it blew up. It worked in America and Canada. But you go to Mexico, they play diatonic. Diatonic is so different, I can't play Mary Had a Little Lamb on it. It's that different.
No way.
Totally different.
3-time world champion
Piano
Cory.
accordion.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Piano accordion. But you know what's amazing? I can't, when I read music, and I find that now as I get older, I'm starting to play piano again, and I'm reading music. That's like another language, really, when you think of it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm reading music, but I still have to look at the keys a lot, whereas I watch Ron, and he's all over the place.
Oh, no, he never looks his keys.
And you, my friend, you never look at your keys, right?
Well, I mean, if I'm doing a big jump, I'll look. You try to not look because, your eyes are taking away a lot of brain power. So almost if I'm really playing something heavy, my eyes are shut. I'm just
really
thinking about the music. Yeah, there's a lot of information you're taking in with your eyes. So
I should say, but also, is it kind of like when you do this? Because
you're doing kind of 4 things now. I'm usually, especially in jazz, I'm playing bass lines, I'm comping, and I'm also doing the drums here. You're playing the right hand, and then the bellows, they all has to work together. So there's a lot to do. But the bellows you do without thinking. If you don't get that in the first year, then you're in trouble.
Now, let me just explain to those listening, because most people still listen to a podcast, is that you are sitting on the edge of your seat with this humongous Korg. Is that how you say it?
Well, that's the brand. Yeah.
The brand.
Yeah.
And he's got an accordion the size of from his neck down to his knees, and it's quite large. And you've got 2 forms of communication. You've got the keyboard on one side, and you've got the buttons. Yeah. And to take that and make it together, make a sound is just crazy. And then what are those squares?
Well, no, this is the bellows.
No, but right here.
Oh, that just changes the patch, or
I'm pointing to some other little buttons.
Because on accordions you have different reed blocks, like different harmonicas. It's basically a harmonica with buttons on it. So you use different reed blocks to get different sounds.
Wow. It's crazy. Give me a little bit of that sound that I hear sometimes when I go to your videos, where it sounds like
there's a lot of choices.
It sounds like there's a choir behind it, it's kind of
the doo-wop. So the only thing is the doo-wops are on the Roland. I keep wanting Cory to do it, so I don't quite have the. But there's other stuff like the church organ.
Give it to me. Wow. You know what that sounds like to my ear? It sounds like exactly like the organ when Julie Andrews walked down the aisle and got married in The Sound of Music.
Good.
Isn't that crazy?
But then you do have full choir.
Oh yeah.
So you could, but then you said Malagueña earlier, right?
Oh yeah, Malagueña.
And of course, if you roll it, it sounds like a real guitar. But I'm just playing the accordion.
That's great. Do you know any disco? Because I'm a disco queen. I'm putting you on the spot, and I'm sure musicians love that.
No, but it's just the patches. The patches are in different spots from the rolling. So we have a lot of electronic stuff on here too.
That's all. Now, every accordion doesn't have that? I mean, that's all been added. Is that a special?
It's all electronics in. There's no reed blocks in this.
Which is why you have to be a techie to play accordion nowadays.
Kind of.
Because you're a techie. Really you're a loving nerd. Listen to that.
But you can still, of course, do. You can still do that if you would like. I know you don't want to.
What? Polka? I love the polka. I'll tell you what, when Ron plays the polka on piano, it's the swell of people that just get up and start dancing. And there's something about that beat that just makes people go, maybe some people throw up, but other people love to dance the polka.
Oh, they do.
Wow. So what's your favorite style? Well, you're a jazz, right?
I know, but I'm everything. I mean, it depends.
So what did you play for the president of Malta? As I flipped my
head.
head.
Everything. The family knew all kinds of old American stuff, so I knew all that.
Is there a Malta song?
I learned the national anthem for it, but I don't remember.
Okay, you are Ron.
I know a lot of national anthems.
Ron knows every national anthem, and you know what else he knows? college theme songs.
College themes.
He loves that.
Wait. Let's see if he knows this one. This is a good one. With my patch, my symphonic patch.
By the way, if I was announcing this like a golf tournament, Ron Trotter's behind the camera while Cory is playing accordion, and Ron is bursting at the seams because he can't be part of this. Okay, go on. Anybody out there?
Which one is that, Ron?
Oh,
Australia.
Oh, wow. Because Ron, he always plays, which one's the cheese? Wisconsin. He knows Wisconsin. He knows all the state college songs.
Yeah,
and that gets people going.
Yeah, they do.
So really, this is two nerds. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I have all the percussion.
Oh my
and
God!
I have the drum roll.
In my childhood home, in the kitchen of my childhood home, as I'm sitting here with 2 3-time world champions. One can't do anything because behind the scenes, and the other one, Cory, you are a dream come true. Now, let me ask you a question. Is there anybody that you hang out with that you bring to these events and things? Do you have anyone in your life, or are you single? Do you see what I'm getting at, people? Do you see what I'm getting
She
at?
wants those details.
You're so cute and so
my God.
wonderful.
I travel a lot, though. You gotta
Yeah,
remember
that's
that.
true. That's true.
You know, and then I do all these different genres of music.
But you
and,
probably meet a lot of interesting people.
I meet a lot of interesting people. And of course, the music world has interesting people, let's say, and the accordion world has extra interesting people.
Right.
And then,
I bet.
of course, the different worlds. I mean, the car world, actually, people are awesome in the car world. The racing world, people are awesome there. The weather world, everyone's a nerd, but
It's
a good,
true.
fun nerd, you know.
Isn't it true, the niche of everybody?
Oh, yeah.
I find that fascinating.
Different worlds,
I did,
different worlds.
remember I told you I had that fling with a banjo player? I did go to Kansas City
Second time we
and
did that
sat, and it went 24 hours, a convention of banjo players, and everybody plays, what's that song, Ron? The banjo song? Oh my God, not Malagueña. Oh, there's a song that's Lady of Spain. Lady of Spain.
Oh my God.
Everybody
That's
plays
the accordion song that Dick and Tino made famous.
Is that
yes.
too? But there's some banjo song, and I was ready to. Maybe I was channeling my accordionist.
Of course, he plays that one too. I
But
know.
by the end of the banjo convention, I
Banjo convention.
almost shot myself. But I do have a banjo now, and I should learn how to play it again.
Okay.
But well, I am beyond thrilled. I am excited. I can't believe I'm sitting here and not up dancing. But you are so special, and you are a gift to Rhode Island, the state of Rhode Island. They better give you that Hall of Fame.
Call
And
Bill
you
Conti.
are a gift to the world of accordion. I love it. Would you promise me? I say that, but would you come back? I do want to.
Oh yeah, we have
interview-
much more to talk about.
Oh my God, so much more to talk about. But I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can listen to Shaking the Bushes wherever you listen to podcasts. And now you can watch Cory and me, Ellie McGuire, on YouTube starting in
Exactly.
January. Woohoo!
Because this is January 2026.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. yes.
Exactly.
The new year.
The new year. Well, thank you, Cory Pesaturo.
Hey.
And I'm looking forward to our next time we get together.
I hope we shuck enough bushes. No, shook
the
shook
bushes.
it. We're not shucking.
He's playing a little go out of the school. It's bye-bye music. That's what it makes me think of. Goodbye, everybody. Psst. Hey, thanks for watching the Shaking the Bushes podcast. And if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and see that little bell there? You can click on that, and that will notify you for the next episode of Shaking the Bushes. Okay, I gotta go. And we never had this conversation.